Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is Dwayne, and I wanted to welcome you back to another episode, The Conversation. I'm a teacher, okay, so I teach middle school. And I've taught every grade possible, all the way pre-K, all the way to college. And now I'm teaching seventh grade kids who are about, 12, 13 years old. And it's a lot. It's a tremendous amount of energy, getting those young folk to lock in and slow it down and try to put something on them, try to get some experience on them, something to learn. And they move in so fast and so much is going on with them that it can be challenging, especially now because of the weather and because of the time of year. And as a teacher, an educator, I have realized in my experience that during the time of spring, summer is when, especially the boys, they seem to get more aggressive and more talkative and more defiant. And then, of course, by the end of the year, the teachers are tired. And so that brings me to mental health and being able to handle a year, let's say a year, as an educator. And how do you do that? Let's talk about that. And I think that transcends to all professions, because I think teachers are specifically unique in the sense that we have become not only an educator, but we've become a counselor, we become a confidant, a mentor, a pseudo parent, all those things, and then some of those things all together, and one, two of things, whatever, and it's a consistent thing. And then you have to then teach them, and then you also have to be aware of what you are required to do as an educator and all the other stuff that you have to do outside. And then you have your own life. And so the question is, how do you stay healthy, physically, spiritually, and mentally, and being in the profession that demands so much of your time and your energy? And what I have done in my own experience, and I'm not anybody's expert, but I do know I'm an expert in my own life, and I can speak from my experiences. I've learned from a wonderful person, who taught me that you take care of yourself first. I mean, it seems like, yeah, that, of course, but how many of us do? How many of us take the first 45 minutes to an hour when we get up in the morning before we attend to anything or anyone else? I watched someone do that. She would not allow her children to talk to her other than saying hello when they first see her after working all day long. You had to give her 45 minutes to an hour before you could come to her with any kind of problems, issues, whatever. She had to have been fed in her bed and she had been bathed. Then she was able to then have her 4 children come at her, ask her different things, then seeing her all day and want to impart what they've done in the day. But she took care of herself first. And she did that most of all of my life. And now she is a retired person who is enjoying her retirement and healthy and whole, because I believe that she took that time for herself. Whatever that time was, she needed for herself to be able to then be at her best as she could be in any moment with her children. And she knew very early. She was very forward thinking about, you can't run yourself ragged. Like, we think, okay, because we're sick, not feeling well, we show up to work and, we're giving them 30% of who we are. What's that about? You know what I mean? Like, you got to make sure that you're giving 110% all the time. Show up for yourself, not just them, but you do have people that are responsible for you, that you're responsible for, that are watching you, that are looking at you, that are taking cues from you. And so you have to try to show up the best you can. Now, how I do it is I take care of myself first. So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is give thanks to whatever that entity that you have in your life that's greater or bigger than you, that's outside of yourself. And I thank them for giving me another day. And then I start to count from A to Z, and I use positive, inspiring words in my vocabulary. Like, for instance, I'll say abundance, basking, caring, delightfulness, education, excellence, essence, foundation, family, fun, greatness, humor, imagination, illumination, juxtaposition, joyful, kindness, loving. I mean, just AB all the way down. I just do this every single day. Then I get up, brush my teeth, wash my face, and then I drink some water, hydrate, and then I'm putting clothes on and off for the gym. It starts at 4:30 a.m. every single day. And I do that for myself, getting up and doing that ritual. And then I go to the gym, work out for 45 minutes to an hour, to come back, and then I meditate every single day, 10 to 15 minutes. Not looking at my phone, not answering any text messages, not answering any emails, none of that. What I will do, though, is send out a message saying good morning to people. I send out these wonderful Snoopy cartoons that say, have a good day, have a great day, have a wonderful day, give you a hug. Love doing that kind of stuff. So that's what I do. That's how I reach out to people. And that brings me joy. You know, I'm still in that positive high place that was in when I woke up, and without any thoughts about what I got to do, what I have to do. Just in that space, and there's no one around. It's quiet. It's just me and Jesus. And then take my shower, get myself together, and then once I get everything together, get in my car to drive, then I will look at what's going on for the day. But what I do is, before I do that, I get in the car and I say my information. So I have these text messages, and I'll say, I am a wonderful being. There's nothing I cannot achieve. The world addresses itself to me always in positive ways. Things are always working out magnificently for me. Seas part for me. I have the resources of the universe at my disposal. I live a charmed life. I live in an environment where I am inspired to a new idea. And as soon as I give birth to it, things align to bring me the actualization of it or the manifestation of it. I just keep going and going and going, and I keep going, and it's a whole thing I say. And then I go to another thing. I'm a magnet for money. Prosperity of every kind is drawn to me. I can do that. And then I think of, what if I concentrated on and made myself feel this way? What if I pointed myself in the direction of everything that I put in the vortex? What if I were able to take everything in my life and give it my undivided attention? What if I saw myself, see myself, love myself like Source does, like God does, like Allah does? I mean, whomever that is for you, like if I saw myself as they see me, how much they love me, and I could love myself that same way. So I do that before I communicate with my mother, who I call twice a day. I'm a mama's boy. Twice a day. She lives on another side of the country. So before I make a phone call, before I do anything, I do all that for me. Now I'm ready to offer anything, but I've done everything I need to do for myself first. And that's my process, Monday through Friday. And then by the time I show up at the door, I'm smiling. I've been smiling since I woke up, but I'm smiling. I'm saying, good morning, everyone. And I'm just beaming with the energy that I woke up with this morning. I maintain that. And that's how I start my day. And that's how I like to maintain my day. And I like to stay there as long as I possibly can. And for me, that has kept me healthy. And also what I do is, when I'm there at work, I give it everything I got. But the moment it's time to go, when I put that backpack on and I'm on my way out, I say, good night, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. And I'm at my car. I don't think about that job anymore. I don't open my laptop anymore. That is it. I don't open the laptop until I get there the next day. Cut my phone off. I don't be going through any emails. Don't be doing none of that. This is my time. Sometimes I don't even know where my phone is. I lay my phone down. I'm like, where did I put my phone? What's going on? Because I'm just not. I don't want to be tapped into that. I'm disconnecting. I'm detaching myself. I am restoring, relaxing, releasing. I need to have a space where I can just shut it down, cut it off, And on my weekends are mine. I don't go anywhere I don't want to go. I don't go all these different places. I like to wake up later because I wake up so early in the morning. I like to wake up a little later. I like to just do things slower and just enjoy watching the programs I love to watch. And I do not watch live TV. I only watch things and listen to things that I want to listen to that are geared for me. That's my diet. This nutrition. This is what I'm taking in every single day. This is what I'm doing. And it's just it's not a ritual. It's a consistent labor of love. I don't want to say labor, but it's just love for me. It's just giving myself the kind of energy, nutrition, spirit that I need to be able to be my best, to show up at my best, and to maintain that and not get burnt out before the end of the year. You know, I'm still, you know, feeling. I mean, I'm feeling exhausted because I give so much, you know, and I'm doing things, and that's a good exhaustion, but I'm not burnt out because I'm not giving more than I can give. You know, there was someone that said, only give from your saucer. Only give from the saucer because the cup is running over, but the cup has to be full for it to run over for the saucer. So you give from that. You give from your overflow, not from your cup, not from what you need for yourself. You have to have boundaries. You have to say, listen here, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm going to do, and that's non-negotiable. You have to do that for yourself because everybody's going to ask you for things. They don't care about how much is taken from you or how tired you are. I mean, you know, people are not wired that way. Of course, they love you and care for you, but they really don't. They're all about what you can do for them, which is fine. That's the way we all are wired that way. But you have to be able to maintain that for yourself. And that's how I've been able to survive, because I give to myself. I work out. I make sure that I'm doing what I need to do for myself before I'm obligated, or whatever obligations I have, or whatever duties I have. I do this for myself, and that keeps me at a vibrational level that allows me to maintain, to think, to have an action and not a reaction to things. You know, to have a good sense of where I am, what am I doing, and how I would like to be present, and how I want to speak. And the things that are coming out of my mouth are deliberate. There are things that are intentional. There's an intentionality about the way I am, what I do, how I walk, how I talk, because children are watching me. And so I make sure that light is there, that I'm smiling, that they see that reflection in a positive way. That matters to me. So, you know, those are the kind of things that I do. And also, it's something I wanted to say because it was something that I was thinking about. If you have a partner or mate or anyone that you're living with, shouldn't they get your best and not your worst? You know, you go through the job and you're at the job for 8 hours a day, 9 hours, 10 hours, whatever it is, and then plus till you commute and you come home and you toe up and you're just exhausted. But what about your person that you're supposed to love? You can't just let it go. You got to be able to redirect, get it together, because your partner needs to see you as they see you. Why do they get your best when the person that you love the most is sitting right next to you or there with you? Why shouldn't they get the best part of you? Why do they get the tore down, broke down, always exhausted, in sweats, looking crazy, hair not done? Why do they have to see that? And then people see that, and especially for men, ladies, men are visual creatures. Don't let them tell you, oh baby, you look all right, it's the way you are. That matters for a moment. But let me tell you, we love beauty. We love to see you in your best, meaning looking fresh. I didn't have to be a makeup on or anything like that, but just being fresh. You know, just looking and be happy to say, smile at your partner when they come through the door. Be excited to see them. Give them that energy. You know, they've been through a hard day as well, but we got to make sure that we maintain our home as well. Make sure that we are feeding our relationships and giving and talking, you know, and asking them, how was your day? And listen, give them that minute, you know, turn that TV off and give your energy to that person. I'm telling you, it goes a long way from my experience. It goes a long way. And that's a part of the whole mental attitude as well, because you know, I drive through neighborhoods and neighborhoods are close to me where there are lots of people who have just checked out. You know, they're walking around, no shoes on. I just saw a lady with no shirt on. She's walking with her breast just hanging out, and she don't know where she is. She had no shoes on, and I just thought that was somebody's daughter, or is somebody's daughter, or somebody's sister, or somebody's aunt, and my heart goes out, you know, and I just thank, you know, my creator, to that I am of sound mind. But to keep my sound mind, I have to be able to do all these things. And you know what, also too, I'm of age where, you know what, I mind my business. I mind my own business. I'm not interested, nor am I in other people's business and worrying about what they're doing or what they're saying or whatever. Let me tell you something. What people say and think of you is none of your business. I'm gonna say that again. What people say and think of you is out of your control. so it's none of your business. You can do nothing about that. You can try to influence them by saying certain things and trying to elicit some sort of response from them, but it doesn't work. People are on their own time, doing their own thing, doing whatever. You have to be concerned about yourself. And if you worry about you, then you don't have time to be worried about somebody else. Let me tell you, all the stuff that I need to do for myself, it's like, how do people not how do you not mind your own business? Like, that means if you're minding someone else's business, that means you must be neglecting something in your own life, because it takes every bit of everything I have to mind my own, to be conscientious and be awake and be there for myself. That takes a lot. I don't have time to be worrying about what somebody's thinking or saying. I just don't have the time. And guess what? My life is easy because of that. I'm not worried about what people are thinking or saying. But I do come with an intent of being my best self, so I don't have to worry about it. I already did that way back. I already meditated, went to the gym, did my thing. Well, I've already did that before I even see you. So when I show up, I'm already ready. I don't have to get ready. I am ready. And I do these little teeny steps to get me all the way up to the place where I am running and doing that and being at my best I possibly can be. Because that's how I like to operate. I don't like to operate halfway. I don't like to operate sick. I don't like to operate tired. It doesn't feel good for me to try to move through my life with low energy. So I have to keep that energy up. And how I do that is getting as much fresh as I can, eating the best foods that I can, or foods that I enjoy. Now, let's talk about that. If you enjoy it, the energy that you give the food is the energy that will come into your body. Even food that is supposed to be quote unquote good for you, if you don't have a good energy in that food, it's not going to be a good energy in your body. So you have to love and enjoy what you're eating. And I do not eat 100% healthy. I am a junk food loving, cookie, pastry kind of guy. But I have to make choices, because if I only ate that, then I couldn't maintain, the body that I want, and I go to the gym. And I want to be able to move and be agile as possibly can for as long as I can. So I have to make choices. Like, I can only eat that in moderation. I can't eat that all day or every day or whatever. So you have to make those kind of choices. I don't say good or bad. I just say these are better choices for me, or not so better choices for me. I try to stay away from good and bad, because there's so much weight behind those words. As we've been taught, we see it on TV, we've been brought into, that's been nutrition for us. I'm good and bad, that's bad for you, that's bad for you, that's good for you, that kind of thing. So I just say, better choices. I try to choose better for myself in that moment. Now, tomorrow, I might choose my blueberries and my yogurt and my granola, and the next day, I might eat a Pop-Tart. It's just the way it is. But mostly, I try to stay with the blueberries. But, I'm happy when I eat it, though. I never regret. And that's one thing I don't do. I have a regret. If I'm going to put it in my mouth, I'm going to enjoy every morsel. I'm not going to regret that I ate that. I'm not going to do that. I'll always make sure that if I eat it, I'm going to own it up. I'm going to enjoy that thing, and I'm not going to second guess it. End of story. I've ate it. It was good. And if I like it, I'll buy it again, or I'll eat it again. But I'm not going to say, dang, I shouldn't have ate that. Oh, my God. I'm not doing that. I'm not beating myself up. That's another thing about what is the language that we say to ourselves. What are we saying to ourselves? When we say I am, what happens after that? Do we say I'm sorry? I'm weak, I'm a bad person, I'm an idiot, I'm this, I'm that. Everything you say is what you're believing, and that's the truth. What you say about yourself is what you believe about yourself. I've seen it through my own experience. So I am very deliberate and conscientious of the things that I say about myself. I give myself praise. So every time I finish my workout at the gym, I'm like, I'm proud of you. That was a good, oh man. Ooh, that was great. I say, good morning, handsome. How are you? I look in the mirror and I say to myself, look at you, handsome. I love you. I say that to myself, because who else gonna say it? There may be people who say it, but if I can't love me, then I can't expect anybody else to love me. So I gotta love this. So I look in the mirror and see it and love it, because it is what it is. I am where I am. Now, if I want to be 10 pounds lighter or 10 pounds heavier or bigger or muscular or so, whatever that is, but I'm not there yet. So I have to love where I am, because that's the only way that I can get that to come over to me, is to love where I am. You can't get from broken to unbroken. You have to be able to get it together where you are. Be okay. If you are down the river and you're trying to get up the river, you are down the river. Are you going to be upset and complain because you're down in the river? Or your destination is to go up that way? So what you going to do? Put that thing in that paddle where you are and paddle your way. The same thing in life. If you're not where you want to be, then blessed where you are. Find things that are wonderful where you are, and I guarantee you that thing that you're looking for will come closer and closer and closer to you. In my own experience, I've witnessed it. It has happened. And so the things I say are things that I want to manifest in my life. So I stay away from conversations that I don't want to manifest physically in my life. And I caught myself today talking about something that happened a couple of days ago, and I have got to stop that conversation and not even bring it up, not even be aware that I have to be very conscious that I won't want to keep reiterating that and keeping that energy flowing, because there are things that I want, and I'm blocking it if I'm not in alignment with everything that I say and do. Those thoughts have to be in alignment. The energy has to be in alignment if I want those things to come. If I want to be able to those things to come where I am, I've got to be able to be in alignment with them. I say again, if I want kindness in my life, then I need to be being kind, feeling kind, expressing kindness. If I want trust for people in my life, then I need to be trustworthy. I need to be trusting for myself. If I want someone to be honest with me, then I need to be honest with myself first. That's the only way you're going to attract people that are like you, if you have to then give off that same vibration. And then we talked about the opposite attract. I don't believe that at all. There's no way in physics that happens. That's not true. Something has to be in some sort of vibrational same plane for them to come together. Vibrationally, you have to be on a same level, same wave pattern to come together. That's the way it works. That's just the laws of the universe, So like attract likes. So, thoughts held in mind produce like in kind. If you're worried about something, worry will continue. And law of attraction will pull it. Whatever momentum. You ever notice how if you're having a bad day and something happened to you and you're in that whatever, and then you'll get a text from someone that you don't want to see, somebody who you want to talk to or give you some trouble will be the one to call you, or somebody with a problem will call you. It just seems to compound itself, That's that law of attraction. That's that momentum thing that's going. So you got to switch it. If you're watching something that you don't like on TV, what do? Change the channel. Change the channel. Change the conversation. Change the thought. You can do that. You find yourself on this negative thing, whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, switch it. Go someplace else. Take a rest. Meditate for 5 minutes. Go take a nap. Do something to reset that thing, because if not, the law of attraction is going to keep taking it, and you're going to keep having that day, and things like it will continue to come in. Anything on that vibrational level where you are will then be coming into your life. That person that you ain't heard from, or that person you don't want to hear from, or a bill collector, or a phone call, or something will happen, because that's where you are in your vibrational state. So when I say look at your life and see who the people are in your life, the kind of relationships you have in your life, and then go back to yourself and say, okay, everything starts with me. So if I have people in my life that are behaving and acting in a certain way, then what is it in me that is attracting that? What is it in me that got me into this situation with this person? What was I thinking about? What was my conversation about? What was I watching on TV the night before? What was the nutrition that I had? Why am I on this level? Why is this person coming up? Or why am I seeing this happen to me? Start with yourself, and then be held accountable. Hold yourself accountable. Okay, I did that. And that's it. Like, don't beat yourself up, because I know we can whip our behinds better than anybody can. We can beat ourselves up better than anyone can, right? So we got to be kinder to ourselves, not beat ourselves up if we make a mistake, or we deem that thing a mistake or something wrong. You say, what? Give yourself the kind of grace you would give your best friend or someone that you love. If you saw a child walking and they fell, they just don't know how to work. Just starting how to walk. I'm sorry. Just starting how to walk. Learn how to walk. And they fall. Do you go, get up, dummy? Or what's wrong with you? You can't even walk. You give them grace. They're trying. Do the same thing for yourself. You made the mistake. Okay. You made it again. Okay. So then what we're going to do about it? Be a friend to yourself. Be loving and kind to yourself. And I guarantee you, if you love this, you love yourself, and you're doing what you do, I guarantee your relationships will improve in your life. Those very relationships will turn. They will be different because you are different, not because of them. They don't have to do anything to make you feel happy. That is an inside job. And that goes for your lovers, your marriage, your wives, your husbands, your teachers, your mother, your sister, brother. Starts with you. It starts with you. You are the one. If those relationships are not working, then you just look back at yourself, point that mirror back at yourself and say, what am I doing? And once you do that, I guarantee you, those relationships will then, they will either vibrate out or they will start to be in alignment with where you are vibrational. If you're in a good mood, then they'll be in a good mood too. They won't even call you if they're in a bad mood. You won't even get those phone calls. I'm telling you, I lived it, so I know. So that is my spiel on mental health. Staying conscientious, taking time out for yourself, trying to stay as upbeat and positive and find things of beauty and love in life. Look for the good in everybody and always be kind. I tell my children every day, be kind and loving to each other. And when they say shut up and say things to each other, I say, is that kind and loving? And I ask them to apologize to each other. And I never let them say, I'm sorry. I apologize for that behavior. You're never sorry. I'm sorry. When you say I am, and then that whatever's behind that is what you believe. So I tell them, no, listen, we don't say that because after I am is what you're saying to yourself. So always say, I apologize for that behavior or that thing I said. So that's what we do, a way of being. And I'm trying to get them to love each other and care for each other a little better and for themselves too. And to just stand in their truth, you know, and stand on their own 2 feet and know that they're worthy. And that's something that I had to learn. I'm learning about my own worth, my self-worth. And that's another conversation we'll talk about, self-worth. That'll be the next one. But this one is about just trying to maintain your best as much as you can and be that best in any moment that you can. And how you do that, the little teeny things that you do along the way. It's nothing, there's no big gigantic thing. It's just small things, you know, like getting up and saying to yourself, thank you. You look in the mirror saying, I love you. Being kind to the person. Always saying, thank you, I appreciate you. Be kind and loving to every single person you encounter, no matter what. I'm telling you, that in my experience has made my life the life that I want. The life that I want to create for myself, because my reality is the one I create. It's not anybody else's, it's mine. So for me, it's just a way of being. I just love being good and kind to folk. I love the kindness and love and affection that we give each other. I love when people are loving and kind on each other. I just love it. No matter who it is, what it is, I just love it. And my boys and girls at school are like that. I have some wonderful children that are just the sweetest, kindest, funniest kids that I've ever had. They're not mean or vindictive or malicious. They just love on each other all the time. A bit much loving. They always got their hands on each other, but it's in a loving way. You know, they're not trying to hurt each other. And I love that, you know, but I do try to get them to speak in loving terms because I want them to get that vocabulary of changing that, you know, if you, whatever words you're using now, let's go ahead and add some more to them so that we can replace those. So you have a lot more to choose from, that you don't have the same words that you always have. So I try to expand their vocabulary so that they can have more, they can have a larger scope of things they could say to one another. Because sometimes that's all they know, all the words that they use. So I try to help them with that as well. You know, so I have a lot to say. I know, as you can see, I talk a lot. I've been talking since I was in the crib. But I appreciate you. If you like this video, please like. And if you'd like to subscribe, I would love that. My nephew told me that he watched my videos and I was like, what? Are you serious? I was so blown away. Like, are you serious? So yeah, I'm going to try my best to continually to just post, because I didn't think anybody was going to, you know, want to hear anything I had to say. So I'm glad he did. He told me, he inspired me today. So I decided to do a posting, and I told him I would. So I'm doing that. This is for you, my nephew. I love you, brother. And I love you all. And thank you for listening to me. I appreciate you. Until next time. Bye-bye.